my colleague, Honorable Minister of State, Mr. Rajiv Chandrasekhar ji, Secretary, Mr. Ajay Sahani ji, Dr. Narsimhan, Mr. Ramachandran, Mr. Jain, members of civil society, think tanks, industry participants, learned professors from the academia, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Jain introduced in a very long way. I don't deserve even 20% of what he said, but still thanks for giving this opportunity to be part of this very exciting forum, which is going to define the norms of governance for the most important part of our economy, most important part of our society today. What was conceived as a network of human beings has become increasingly a network of machines. So internet has fundamentally changed over the last few decades. The way content is created, the way content is consumed, the way internet is accessed, the languages in which internet is accessed, the machines, the modes in which internet is accessed, everything has changed. So with these fundamental changes, we certainly need a fundamental rethink of the entire governance structure of internet. So I'm so glad, so happy that India is taking the lead in this. One of the largest users of internet has to be a key stakeholder in the way governance of internet is defined all over the world. I'll flag 5 points for deliberations during this conference, during this forum. My colleague Mr. Chandrasekhar very nicely brought out our political philosophy. The first point relates to that, inclusive growth. We in the Bharatiya Janata Party, Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji's government, we believe very, very strongly in inclusive growth, inclusive society, creating a society in which the person at the margins of the society, living in the most remotest parts of the country, people who are not as able as many others are, how do we include everybody in this journey of growth? How do we create an equitable society? How do we ensure that everybody gets the same benefits that somebody who is better positioned in the society is getting? That is the fundamental principle. So I'll request, in the context of the digital world in which we are living today, how do we reduce digital divide? How do we ensure that people who are not getting the benefits of this digital world are able to get those benefits? That's what should be our primary focus when we look at the new norms of governance of internet. The second fundamental point is about the climate change. The way the country, the way the globe is changing, are we able to contribute through the power of digital technologies? Are we able to contribute more towards mitigating the harmful effects of climate change? Are we able to manage the transitions to new energy in a better way using the power of digital technologies? That should be made a part of our fundamental governance structure of internet. The third point I would flag here is the responsibility for content. As we all know, the way internet itself has changed. Today, internet is consumed primarily from mobile devices. I wouldn't like to put any numbers, how much percentage, but it's a very significant part of the way internet is today consumed, the way content is created. So who's going to be responsible for that content? There is a implicit trust in the written word. If we read something, we start believing that, oh, something is written in that WhatsApp message or in that Facebook page or in that particular website, so it must be true. Who's going to take responsibility for that content? It's very important because the young minds, the minds which are still not, somebody who has still not created a very structured way of thinking would be very easily tempted to believe whatever is the written word. So who takes responsibility for that content? Whether that content is on a social media platform or on a website, it should be clearly defined so that there is a responsibility for the written word on somebody, so that it becomes part of the society as an acceptable form. The fourth point that we need to discuss is what is the social impact of disruptions in the business models. The way e-commerce has disrupted the entire business world, the way things, so many other industries are getting disrupted. That has a social impact, that has a social cost. It has many benefits, but it also has certain things which need to be mitigated. So that is again a part that we as a society will have to think, because that leaves out so many people who are less able, people who are less able to cope with the changes. How do we bring those persons in the mainstream so that they are not left behind? That's the fourth part. And the fifth and foremost very important part is about cyber security. Each and every system today which is driven by digital technology, and internet is the fundamental medium, those systems can today be taken by ransom, can be held hostage by people who want to disrupt the things. How do we cope with this challenge? Can we build fundamental structures within the entire governance framework itself so that cybersecurity comes to the fore, it becomes a central part of our development? I thank all the participants for the valuable time that you will be giving over the next few sessions, next many sessions. I'm not competent enough to give any firm thought on any of these items. All of you have much more knowledge, much more experience, much more exposure to digital technologies. I hope that this forum will bring some solid answers to the pressing questions that we have in our society today. I wish all the participants very good discussion, and look forward to getting feedback on the conclusions from the forum. Thank you very much.